All right, so I want to make this video to go over a kind of an institutional method when it comes to picking out zones in the market. And this is something known as quarters theory. And quarters theory is basically a psychological, I guess, rule for looking at points of, where people take profit, where people place trades, where people look at significant areas in the form of whole numbers. So the way whole numbers work in Forex is that it's every 50 pips, it's every 100 pips, it's every 150, 200, 250, and then every 250 is what's known as a major quarter level. So if we look here, we're going to start here. If I make a line and I'm going to do quarter level, half level, whole level, it might be hard to do a whole level because that's 1,000 pips. So we'll probably do it at quarter level, keep it there. So quarter level, the closest one that I see here is 9,500. So if I put this line at 9,500, I want you to notice the significance of how and where it's placed. So 9,500 even, you see how price just follows that 9,500 level? It breaks, it uses as support, it uses as a clean level. Let's look at another level. Let's do a whole level, which is 9,600. 9,600. So we're going to place this at 9,600. Let's see how the charts respect that level. See how that's just clean, how price just makes their support here. It breaks, it retests, and it goes down. And then let's look at a half level. Look at a half level. So I'm going to make another line, and I'm going to go halfway between 9,500 and 9,600. And what is that? 9,550. So let's see where 9,550, how that lines up. See that? So you have it touching there, breaking and retesting here. Price is currently rejecting off of it. We go here, there's zones here that respect it. We go further back, there's more and more zones that respect that level. And this can happen with any chart. Let's look at another one. Look at another one. So we have Euro CHF. First whole level that I see is 1.08. So 1.08. See how price just comes to it. It, for the most part, lines up really well with quarters theory. So let's look at a quarter level. A quarter level is going to be every 250 pips. So it's going to end in 250, 500, and 750, and then zeros all the way around. So let's look at the closest quarter level. Closest quarter level on this chart would be 1.075. So I'm going to put this at 1.075. See how you get the price is just bouncing right off of that level. It breaks, it cleanly retests, it keeps going up. So let's see if I can find another one. And the way you want to prioritize these, you want to do it in this order. From the top down, it's going to be quarter level, which is every 250. It's going to be whole level, which is every 100, and then half level, which is every 50 pips. So a half level would be 1.0850. And the reason these are significant is because when these are humans that are trading the market for the most part. So they're going to look at, hey, I want to take this and just to make it looks better, they're going to take it to a whole number. They're not going to say, oh, I'm going to take my profit at 1.89, 10, 12, where it's so direct. They're going to look at, hey, I'm going to take profit at 1.0850 area, or I'm going to take profit or do my stop loss at 1.0800 level. They're clean numbers. So a lot of people trade off of those numbers, and that's why the significance of how the markets line up, they line up pretty well, especially with the whole and the quarter points, because those are bigger areas of significance. So let's go to another one. Let's do a New Zealand pair. There we go. Random New Zealand pair. Closest whole number and quarter point. There's a quarter point, and I see a whole number, and I see actually 2 quarter points on this chart, and I'm identifying them for you. So let's start with the quarter points. This is the most significant. The quarter point on this chart is 900 even, 9,000 even. Respects it. Basically, that's the high quarter point. So that's the major resistance in what most people will say. Then there's the next whole level right under it. The next whole level would be 8,900. So if I place a line at 8,900, see how price respects that line, breaks and retests, it finds support, it finds resistance, it finds rejection, it finds strength in that area. So another place to look for as far as points of interest in the market. So how do you game plan trades around? I wouldn't necessarily game plan an entire trade, but I would use it as more evidence to place a trade based off of another criteria. You can place trades strictly off of quarters theory. I know people who do, but there's also other aspects of confirmation that people look for. Let's use a half level so you can see what that does. The half level under 8,900 is going to be 8,850. So 8,850 breaks and retest there, starts on a downtrend, use the next whole point, which is 8,800. And you can just literally do this. This is kind of like called grid trading, where you're using significant areas. See how it cleanly rejects off of that. There's some rejection there. See if I can go back and find it, next whole level, next half level underneath this whole level is going to be 8,750. And I'm just using this so you can see how charts line up. So you see this and breaks it, retest there. Wasn't that much drawdown, maybe it's 10 pips of drawdown, nothing major. And you would have made another point. Let's go to the next whole level. And this right here, just to back up, this right here is both a whole level, a half level and a quarter level, because see how it ends in 750. So that's the 750th pip quarter level. The next one will be 9,000. That's the next quarter level up here. So this is significant. These are also significant here. But let's just keep going down so you can see more examples. It's 8,700. And then I'm gonna do one more. Do 8,650, which is the next half level down. And I guess I'll do the whole level so I can do a complete chart. 8,600. So everything ends in 50 by itself is a half level. Everything that ends in, a whole number of 0, 0, for the most part, is a whole level, unless it is zero, like basically a whole number and then 4 zeros, or like basically 500. So say if this was 8,500, that would be a quarter point. And then of course 750, that would be a quarter point. 80, what would it be? 8,750, that's a quarter point. So those are going to be the most significant. But how do you actually trade this? How do you actually trade using quarters theory? So if I was looking for a major level in the market and I'm seeing that this is a downtrend, I would wait and see for price to do something like this. I'll wait for it to break a level, come back to the area, and literally you can just walk the charts down like this. Sometimes you're going to get break and retest where it comes to this point here. So it breaks a little bit, which is those are the breaks and retests I like, where it breaks just a little bit, makes a little bit of a distance, and then comes back to retest. Or if you're doing Fibonacci, right? And you're a Fibonacci trader, not a break and retest trader. So you see here is your major high point. Right here is your major low point. And you see that the whole level matches up exactly with the 61.8. And you also see that there's price that respected the 61.8 and that whole level at the same time. So that would be a place where I would possibly look for a trade just in this area. It doesn't have to hit it on the dot. If you come close, it can go over a little bit, but that area is going to be significant. So like say if price went up to like, 75.55, which is 5 pips over, that would still be considered respect if it started to come back down off of that. It doesn't have to not breach it, but it just has to come in that area, that general vicinity, before you can place a trade. So you have two confirmations there, and then a third one because there's a zone here. Or let's say you were looking for a, oversold, like you're using RSI, and you're an RSI trader, and you're looking for an oversold point, a place where the market could turn around. You see right here, it's oversold. It's at 82, and if you line that up, the 82 is deeply oversold. It's at this whole level. If you use both RSI and Fibonacci, you would have another confirmation there, and that would be your entry. You look for another. It's a downtrend, so you're looking for oversold. So right here, you're oversold here. So we got to, change the Fibonacci up since we're at a different point in the market. So that's not the major high point anymore. This is the major high point. So I'm going to take it from here to the major low point, go there, and I see that it's oversold. But look, it goes right back and it taps this. So it taps that, it rejects off of it, it's oversold here. So that would be a potential area to sell. You would have got a little sell off of that. And then the trend changed. It broke the major high point. So the trend had changed. So now you're looking for buy areas. So you're going to wait and you're going to see basically what happens. Like me, I would maybe look for undersold. See, there's no undersold here. Or if you're looking for a Fibonacci, you see how the 61.8 also is in that same area as that major quarter point. So these are different things that you would look for, but you can use quarter points as extra confirmation for trades and areas to where you can possibly place a trade. So definitely look up quarters theory. This is what you'll basically Google if you want to find out more information on it. But this method of trading is something that a lot of professional banks and institutions use alongside with other methods. But as far as areas to take profit and enter in, they would use these areas to find their trades.